Today is June 10th, 2021. Now buckle up, we're about to travel back in time to June 10th, 1991. Monday, June 10th, we learn that China seeks to increase its share of the world market for missiles. The Chinese military may begin shipments of 2 new kinds of missiles to Syria and Pakistan, and perhaps to other countries as well. The new missiles, which are said to be more accurate than the Soviet-designed Scuds used by Iraq in the Persian Gulf War, are thought to be at the end of the development stage and could be deployed soon. So we know that China's on the move.
China is on the move.
Cool, okay. I guess not cool, but that happened. What else? The United States military authorities ordered the evacuation of thousands of Americans from Clark Air Base today after a nearby volcano, dormant for centuries, spewed rocks and hot ash down its slopes. Operation Fiery Vigil, 1991 eruption of Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines. Look how 90s this is, dude. That is so 90s. There's a naked baby in the passenger seat because the AC wasn't that good and you're driving in an oven. That guy's rocking jean shorts. He's the man. But look what they got in the back though. They're carrying some jet skis. These people are on the way to a good little vacay. I don't like how I said that, vacay. So 90s. Operation Fiery Vigil. I'm Tom Brokaw. Okay, we're not learning anything more here. Top executives of Apple Computer will be visiting the headquarters of the International Business Machines Corporation in New York for a proposal to IBM to license from Apple and to help develop basic software for a new line of Apple computers that will be a successor to its Macintosh family. That's not super interesting, but Apple is one of the biggest companies in the world today. Holy crap. The average stock price of Apple in 91 was 46 cents. You know what it is today? $126. Sheesh. It's probably about to go higher because I just ordered an Apple Watch last week. Doing my part. What else? In sports news, we see that Jim Courier defeated Andre Agassi in the first 5-set French Open men's final. Jim! Look at those 90s outfits, boys. Congrats to Jim. Tonight's primetime TV slots belong to Major Dad, The Family Man, Murphy Brown, Fresh Prince, and Blossom. But that looks like that's all that happened June 10th, 1991. On Tuesday, June 11th, 1991, we see that the United States Air Force completed its shutdown of most operations at Clark Air Base in the central Philippines today, as thousands of American workers at the base fled from the threat of an erupting volcano. That's so crazy that volcanoes can just like chill for 600 years plus and just be like, I feel a little gassy. I might burp. That burp might be puke. Y'all watch out now. New York City lionized the victorious troops yesterday with a magnificent blizzard of ticker tape, patriotism, and affection in a homecoming parade up Lower Broadway's Canyon of Heroes. So this is all the veterans coming home from the Gulf War and getting a celebratory parade. Look how happy. It's nice to see patriotism like that. Tonight's primetime TV slots belong to Rescue 911, Matlock, Who's the Boss, Head of the Class, and Roseanne. Other than that, not much happened on June 11th, 1991. June 12th, 1991. The volcano 10 miles west of the American Air Base in central Philippines erupted in fury this morning, forcing the temporary evacuation of the remaining 1,500 American workers and thousands of panicked Filipinos who live nearby. Holy cow, look at that. Dude, that doesn't even look real. That is so scary. Hey man, don't live near volcanoes, you know? In sports, Frank Viola lost a perfect baseball game on, of all bizarre things, a wild pitch after a strikeout in the 6th inning last night. Okay, while I look for this Frank Viola stat, I just want to say, that's what my researcher included for the sports section of this date when Michael Jordan won the NBA Finals championship on this date. Researcher! Where you researching your stuff? Pretty big day. And she didn't say anything about Boris Yeltsin winning Russia's first presidential election. This was a big day in history. And my researcher is telling me about Frank Viola not pitching a perfect game. All right, so let's go off notes.
Scholarship fund. Michael Jordan with 30 points. The Bulls lead by 7. Final seconds, Magic's three-point attempt blocked. Pippen comes away with it. And the Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship.
If you haven't already seen The Last Dance, go see The Last Dance. That series, that documentary is amazing. Tonight's primetime TV slots belong to Rescue 911, Family Man, Wonder Years, Growing Pains, and Doogie Howser, MD. June 12th, 1991, pretty big day. June 13th, 1991. In the Philippines, the eruption of Mount Pinatubo in central Luzon Island threatened the future of Clark Air Base. Wow. So these hangars collapsed under the weight of volcanic ash. That's crazy. Damn, Mother Nature, you scary. China's arms exports have become a matter of controversy as Congress considers President Bush's proposal to renew Beijing's preferential trade status. Okay, so this was 2 years after the Tiananmen Square massacre. You've probably seen this image before with the tanks on the sky. It was a brutal massacre by the Chinese government on students and protesters and was largely silenced in China. A lot of Chinese people are still uncomfortable even talking about it over there for fear of what the government might do.
今天是几号？
今天是6月4号。
今天什么日子你知道吗？
这个不要说了，6、4、10。
请问一下，今天是几号？
对不起。我知道你想问什么问题了。这个问题不能打算。
对，怎么了？
我知道。说那个，我不想说这个话题，特别是在摄像机前头。6月4号。
对。今天什么日子？今天是多少号？你知道？
今天6月4号，那个我那边有朋友在等我，我马上过去。我知道你什么意思，那个真有事啊，不好意思。
So this is 2 years after that. I could understand why President Bush might be a little bit hesitant about being cool with China. In sports, the Chicago Bulls are the new National Basketball Association champions by virtue of their emotional 108-101 victory over the LA Lakers. And obviously this was covered on the segment for yesterday, but we can still look at some iconic photographs here of the battle between Jordan and Magic, the GOAT's first championship. And to wrap up the 13th, tonight's primetime TV slots belong to The Cosby Show, A Different World, Cheers, The Simpsons, and Babes. June 14th, 1991. In a violent thunderstorm during the first round of the United States Open Golf Championship today, one spectator was killed and 5 others were hurt when they were struck by lightning near the 11th tee of the Hazeltine National Golf Club. In one of the articles I was just reading, one of the guys said something along the lines of, yeah, I didn't play too well today, but how can you be upset about a bad golf score when someone literally died out here today? That is nuts. American officials warned today that the erupting volcano may shut down Clark Air Base in the Philippines for months, if not years, so Mother Nature straight up took it back. Tonight's primetime TV slots belong to Full House, Family Matters, Perfect Strangers, and Going Places. June 15th, 1991. In the largest naturalization ceremony in New York City since 1954, more than 6,000 people from 100 different countries crammed into a Queens auditorium yesterday and pledged allegiance to the United States of America. It's crazy how much xenophobia and fear there are of immigrants still to this day, when we're supposed to be the Great American Melting Pot experiment, right? I thought that was the original idea. What else? Louisville, Kentucky plans to peer into the crypt of Zachary Taylor, the 12th President of the United States soon, and comb the old general's remains for clues about his sudden illness and rapid death almost 141 years ago. How did Zachary Taylor actually die? His personal physicians concluded he had succumbed to cholera morbus, a bacterial infection of the small intestine. Y'all leave that man in his tomb? Let him rest in peace. I'm digging him up. Weirdos. In sports, Leroy Burrell, the world's fastest human for the last 2 years, stamped his title in gold plate yesterday by setting a world record in the men's 100-meter dash at the Mobile National Track and Field. 9.9 seconds.
That's fast.
Tonight's primetime TV slots belong to Amen, American Dreamer, Golden Girls, Cops, The Young Riders, Totally Hidden Video, and Yearbook. And finally, to wrap up the week, we move on to Sunday, June 16th, 1991. In sports, Mobile National Track and Field Championships concluded yesterday on Randall's Island, and one of the most remarkable performances of Carl Lewis's career, who kept his 10-year-old victory in the long jump intact. So here you can see Carl Lewis, one jump from losing his 64-meet winning streak. 64 meet over 10 years. And he soared 28 feet, 4 1/4 inches to pass the leader by ½ of an inch. What a beast, dude. Tonight's primetime TV slots belong to All in the Family, Living in Color, Get a Life, Married with Children, America's Funniest People and America's Funniest Home Videos. Leading the charts this week in 1991 was Paula Abdul with Rush Rush, followed by I Wanna Sex You Up with Color Me Bad and More Than Words from Extreme. And in the box office, topping the charts, we have City Slickers. I don't know if you guys ever saw that movie or not. My dad loved that movie. Billy Crystal was so funny in it.
My ass hurts just watching this.
We got Backdraft, Jungle Fever, What About Bob, Thelma and Louise, and then as the week ended and the new box office results came out, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves came shooting up the charts and took over the top spot. But yeah, that's about all that happened this week 30 years ago. Thank you so much for tuning in and sticking with us for the full episode. Please let me know what you think about the format change and if you have any suggestions or requests or ideas or anything at all like that. And as always, if you like the episode, please give it a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and we'll see you next week 30 years ago.